This is Algebra 1, homework, lesson 6-5 for system of linear equations, the word problems. I'm your host, Mr. Sandell. Let's get started on this answer key for the homework. All right, number 1 is asking us to find two numbers where their sum is 27 and the difference is 1. All right, so again, I want to initialize my variables. I'm going to say that x is the big number. I'm going to say that y is the small number. Small number. That means if I have, and you don't need to necessarily say big number or small number at all, but I'm going to be very specific here. And I'm going to say that if I do x plus y, that's the sum is 27. And if I do x minus y, you do big minus small, so I can do x minus y as opposed to y minus 7. And that is going to be 1. From here, I can just add these to do my elimination. The hard step is to get these variables and these equations set up, but I've done that hard part and I kind of made it look easy. I think the first one is relatively easy, but they do get quite a bit harder. Notice that if I add these up, my y's are opposite, so they're ready to be eliminated. That's why I can add them. X plus x is 2x. A y plus a negative y is no y. And 27 plus 1 is 28. From here, divide both sides by 2. Divide by, maybe I can do that in a different color. I can say divide by 2, divide by 2. X is equal to 14, which is one of the two numbers. And the next number I can find by plugging back in, I can say that 14 plus the original y is equal to 27. I can subtract 14, and I get y is equal to 13. So my numbers are 13 and 14. And just checking to make sure this makes logical sense. If I add them together, I get 27. If I subtract them, I get 1. Okay, everything makes sense there. Number 2. So I have to read them out loud because I haven't seen these problems. Traveling with a current, a certain boat went 15 kilometers per hour. Against the same current, it only went 5 kilometers per hour. We're looking for the speed of the current and how fast would the boat go if there were no current. So it's solving for both variables. Let's go ahead and initialize my variables. And I want to be not too specific here, but I'm going to say that C is going to be the speed of the current. I'm just going to say current, but it's technically the speed of the current. And we'll say B is the speed of the boat. So I know that if they're going together, you're adding them together. If I do B plus C, the boat and the current go in the same direction at 15 kilometers per hour. And if I do, the boat will win. So the boat is bigger. Boat minus the current is going to give me 5 kilometers per hour, is equal to 5. So it's kind of like the same problem as last time. And again, because I have opposites for my C's, I can eliminate just by adding them together. I can add these two together. The C's are now gone, and I have 2b is equal to 20, and from there we can divide both sides by 2 to solve for b, and get b is equal to 10. Once I know b, then I can sub back in, and I can say that 10 plus c is equal to 15 using that first equation. If I subtract 10 on both sides, minus 10, then I get c is equal to 5. So there's the answer. What is the speed of the current? The current is 5. If the boat had no current, it would go 10 kilometers per hour. And that makes sense. Add them together, you get 15. If I subtract them, I do get 5. So far, so good. Those were what I consider to be the two easy problems. The next few problems are like the intermediate problems. I forget which ones are hard. The last 1 or 2 are hard. I think it's just actually the last one is supposed to be the hardest. All right, number 3. If you reverse the digits on a certain 2-digit number, you increase its value by 27. Find the number if the sum of the digits is 15. So I'm going to say, this is how I'm going to initialize my variables. I'm going to say that x is the original tens digit. I'm going to say that y is the original ones. That's a ones digit. So this last piece is the easiest. If the sum of the digits is the easy bit. There's a digit, so add x and y and you get 15. So I'll give you the first equation for free. That's nice and easy, right? I can say that x plus y is equal to 15. The harder piece is, how do I say reverse digits mathematically? Well, mathematically, in order to make the number, let's say the number, for example, is 35. I don't want to do 35 because there's a 5 here. Let's say 38. Say I have a number 38. That means that x is 3 and 8 is y. In order to get the number 38, if x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 8, I need to do 3 times 10 to get 30. And then I need to add that with 8, which is the same thing as saying x instead of 3, x times 10 plus y. So my equation to make a 2-digit number is x times 10 plus y. And then I can reverse those digits So I can go over here and say, this is the reverse. I can reverse those digits if I say 83. The reverse would be 83, which is 8 times 10 plus 3, or 8 is the same thing as y. It's going to be y times 10 plus, and then 3 is the x. So the reverse is going to be y times 10 plus x. You can see that these do kind of look like reversed equations. And it's saying, hey, it'll increase by 27, meaning that if I start with this and then do this, I get 27, which means this theoretically is the bigger number. So I'm going to do bigger number minus smaller number, and that'll give me 27. So I'm going to do bigger number, which is going to be y times 10 plus x. That's the bigger number. And then I'm going to subtract the smaller number, which is, in this case, x times 10 plus y. And that difference is going to be 27. I know that's probably one of the most confusing questions on this entire homework, how to do digit math, but this is the cool little shortcut for digit math. So that equation is set up correctly, but it's not simplified. Like y times 10 is the same thing as 10y, and 10y minus 1y is 9y. So really what I should be saying here is I have 9y, and how many x's do I have? Well, I have just one x, and then I subtract 10 x's here. So 1x minus 10x is negative 9x. And that's still equal to 27. So what I can essentially do here is I can say, okay, I turned all of this equation into this new equation. These are the two equations I'm using, this guy and this guy. So I really like elimination. So I am going to, I guess I'll just eliminate the x's. Notice that my x's and y's are out of order compared to the top. It went x, then y, this one goes y, then x. So if I'm looking at my x's, this is a negative 9, this needs to be a positive 9. So if I make this a positive 9 by distributing the 9, I can say I'm going to distribute a 9 into this side, distribute a 9 into this side. I have yet another equation. This one is going to come down here, and it's going to be 9x. I did the first distribution, and I wrote it underneath the x's. And then I'm going to do 9 times y, and I'm going to get 9y. And those are positive. So that's going to equal to 15 times 9. What is it going to be? 135, I think. 135. And now I'm ready for elimination. So elimination, when I add these x's, they're going to be gone. So I can cross those off. And 9y plus 9y is an 18y. And 27 plus 135 is 162. And from there, I'm ready to divide both sides by 18. Divide by 18, divide by 18, and get y is equal to that number. What is it? It's going to be a little bit less than 10, because I think it's going to be 9. Let's just check. 9 times 18. 18 times 9 off the top of my head. 9 times 8 is 72. 162. Yep, okay, 162. So y is 9. So if y is the 9, how do I get x? And I can plug it into any equation that I want. I like this original red equation, so x plus y is equal to 15. I'll rewrite that again. I have x plus y is equal to 15, or namely, x plus this new 9 that we found is equal to 15. And subtract 9, and x is equal to 6. So my original number, remember, was in red, and it was x, then y, like 38, like xy. In this case, it's going to be 6 and 9 for the meme-tastic 69. So the original number that I'm looking for is 69. And just to make sure that that makes sense, if I reverse the digits, I increase to 96. Does that increase by 27? It does indeed. Cool. So that I'm checking my work in my head. But yeah, 69. Number 4. A lot of reading. The senior classes at High School A and High School B planned separate trips to Yellowstone National Park, but not yet Yosemite, which would have been a lot closer for us, but whatever. The senior class at the High School A rented and filled 9 vans and 14 buses. So let me write down some key information. For School A, we have 9 vans and we have 14 buses. And 624 students. 624 students. This is very similar to the problem that we did in the notes. What about High School B? High School B filled 3 vans and 2 buses for a total of 120 students. And it's probably going to be the same question. How many students can a van carry? Again, we're making the assumption that these vans and buses are 100% filled. There's not an empty seat anywhere. With that assumption, we can do the following. We can say our variables, we want to set those first. We're going to say V is equal to the number of students that fit in a van, and B is equal to the number of students that fit in a bus. I don't want to write all that out, but generally speaking, V and B would have made sense, I think, without any context like that. And set up an equation. So for the equation for school A, that scenario A would be 9V plus 14B is equal to 624. And then the same thing kind of for equation B, which is going to be 3V plus 2B is equal to 120. Nice. We want to eliminate one of these variables, either eliminate the V or the B with these two equations. Well, I'm seeing 9V and 3V. Those are both really nice multiple. I mean, even 14B and 2B, those are nice. Let's just multiply that one by 7, or I can multiply that one by 3. 3 is a lower multiple, so let's eliminate the V's. The way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to make that into a negative 9 to get rid of that positive 9. So to make this a negative 9, I need to multiply by negative 3. So negative 3 is going to be distributed over here, and negative 3 on the right as well. So let's rewrite the equation up here. The 9V plus 14B is equal to 624. And then after doing our distribution, we have a negative 9V minus 6B is equal to a negative 360. And now we can just add them straight down, right? If I just add them and I have opposites, the V's are eliminated. That's the name, elimination. And I have 8B left over. There's going to be a, oh gosh. There's a new way of doing subtraction that I saw on TikTok the other day. I want to try to do that. Sorry, the iPad moved. 6 minus 3 is 3. 2 minus 6 is negative 4, and 4 minus 0 is 4. So 3, negative 4, 4 is the same thing as 264. I think that's how the math works, where you subtract right to left, and if you have a negative, you just leave the negative and then do the borrowing at the end instead of the borrowing at the beginning. Hopefully that made sense. I have 8B on the left, and I need to divide everything by 8. So divide by 8, divide by 8. What is that going to be? Can't do that in my head. Is it going to be like 36? I don't know. Well, 8 times 3 is 24. And then I'm left over with a 24 again, so 33. So B is equal to 33. That came out nice. And if B is 33, which equation do I want to plug back into? I mean, these have the smallest numbers, so I guess I'll plug into that one. So let me rewrite this equation. Oh God, running out of room. I have some room over here. So I'm going to rewrite U over here. I have 3V plus 2B is equal to 120, and 3V plus 2, okay, here comes the substitution. It's going to be 33 is being substituted in. It's going to be 120, so it's going to be 3V plus 66 is equal to 120. And subtract the 66, subtract the 66. I have 3V is equal to, what is that going to be, 54, I believe. And I think that's 18 if we divide by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3, and V is equal to 18. So a bus can hold 33 students, and a van can hold 18 students. Let's just do kind of a logic check. Does that make sense? So if I do, I'm going to just check the easy case and hope that it works. 3 of those V's is, we just found was 54. Well, yeah, it makes sense because we just did that. I don't want to plug in U. Let's just check our work on the back. 33 buses, 33 students per bus, 18 students per van, 33, 18 for 4, 33, 18 for 4, 33, 18 for 4. We got it. Hooray. All right. Oh, now we're on to the next page. We're on to number 5. So these guys are supposed to be all difficult, and then number 8 is supposed to be like the penultimate one. Deshaun and Alberto each improved their yards by implanting rose bushes and shrubs. They bought their supplies from the same store. Deshaun spent, okay, so I'm going to make, I'll say D for Deshaun. Deshaun spent 66 bucks and 12 rows. I'm just making a list of the most important things, and 6 shrub. And what about Alberto? Alberto spent 98 bucks on 7 rows and 12 shrubs. I'm going to guess price of rows and price of shrub. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So let's go ahead and say that R is the cost of a rose. It's the rose money. And then I don't know if I want to do S because it looks, does that look too similar to my 5s? I'll be careful. I'll make them nice and curvy instead of crooked. Like the 5 has that weird crooked mark, right? So we'll say S is equal to shrub, the shrub money. And we'll make an equation for each of these. I'll say that 12R plus 6S is equal to 66, and the other one is going to be 7R plus 12S, that's total S is equal to 98. All right, which one do we want to eliminate? Notice the R's, 7 and 12. I don't really want to deal with them. Ooh, but the 6 and the 12, I can multiply this one by 2. That would give me to 12. But I want it to be negative, so I'll multiply this one by negative 2. I'll say negative 2 times that side and negative 2 times that side. All right, so if I do that, my new black equation is going to be negative 24R and negative 12S. That's going to be equal to negative 122, negative 132, my bad, negative 132. I can do multiplication. And I'm going to rewrite my blue equation up here. It's going to be 7R plus 12S. That's going to be equal to 98. Just rewrote that one. And now that I've done my multiplication, these S's are ready to be eliminated. So cross them off when we add these equations up. 24R, negative 24R and a 7R add up to, what is that going to be, 17, I think, 17R. And, oh, negative 17R, my bad. And that's going to be equal to, what is that going to be, a 34, negative 34? Nice, okay, and then solve. Divide by negative 17. That was 77, Mr. Sindel. That's a negative 17. Divide by negative 17, and I get R is equal to positive 2. So a rose bush costs $2 in theory, and if a rose bush costs $2, then how much does the shrub cost? I'll plug it into another equation. I don't know. I'm feeling this one. So if I do that, I'm going to get, I think I'm going to go right here, 7, and there's the R that I plug in, which is going to be 2, plus 12S is equal to 98. That's going to be 14 plus 12S is equal to 98. Subtract the 14 on both sides. That's going to give us 12S is equal to 84. Divide by 12, divide by 12. And S is going to be equal to 9? No, 7. 7. So shrubs cost $7, roses cost $2. I'm going to check my work on the back. 2 and 7 for number 5. Shrub is 7, rose 2. Got them. All right. On to number 6. The senior classes at High School A and High School B, very creative names, planned separate trips to the state fair. The senior class at High School A rented and filled. Okay, let's make a tally of what everything has. School A, what do we have? Oh my God, it's more buses and vans. Okay, so it's 4 vans. I'm just going to write 4V. Can I jump straight into equation? You guys are ready for this, right? 4 vans and 2 buses, so plus 2 buses for a total of how many students? For a total of 134 students. And what about for B? Let me go ahead and erase you and say that was our equation for school A. For school B, it's going to be 10 vans and 7 buses for a total of 441. And blah, blah, blah. Solve for V and B. Again, I should initialize and say B is students per bus and V is students per van, but I've already defined my variables back in, like, what was it, problem number 3? Problem number 4. So basically problem number 4, I just kind of skipped ahead a little bit. And I need to eliminate something. So I'm going to do B's. I would have to multiply that one by 7, that one by 2, or I could do this one, and I could multiply that one by 5 and this one by 4. I like 5 and 4 better, and they feel nicer. So I'm gonna eliminate the V's. So I'm gonna multiply the top equation by 5. 5 times 4 is 20, and I'm gonna multiply 2 times 10 to get 20. So 2 is being distributed on this side, 5 on that side, which means 5 on that side. Terrible 5. Try it again. 5 on that side and 2 on that side. All right, our new equations after doing that is going to be 20. Ooh, one of them needs to be negative. I'm going to choose the top one to be negative. Top is going to be a negative 20V minus a 10B is equal to a, it needs to be negative on that side, 134 times 5. 134 times 5. We got 20, 15, 16, 17, and 670. So it's negative 670. And the bottom equation, 2 times 10V is 20V, 2 times 7 is 14V, and that's going to be equal to 882. All right, so now we're ready to eliminate. I'm going to go ahead and add these up and write that answer, I guess, right here for lack of a better room. So let's say V's are gone. 4b is equal to, okay, subtraction problem. So I'm doing 8 minus 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. I'm going to do 8 minus 7, which is going to be 1, and 2 minus 0 is 2. All right, so far so good. Divide by 4, divide by 4, and b is equal to, well, 200 divided by 4 is the same thing as 100 divided by 2, which is 50. So first digit is 50, and then 12 divided by 4 is 3, so 53. So 53 students fit on a bus, and therefore how many fit on a van? I don't know. I'm going to use that original 4v plus 2b from school A is equal to 134, and substituting in 4v plus 2. Okay, here comes a substitution. Remember, this was a 53 that fit in the bus, and it's going to be equal to 134 still. Don't know why I switched to red there. Weird. Is equal to 134, and then it's going to be 106 plus 4v is equal to 134 minus the 106 minus 106 on both sides. 4v is going to be equal to 28, I believe. Divide by 4, and v is equal to 7. So 53 and 7 for number 6. 53 and 7 for number 6. Nice. All right. Last two questions. Number 7. Shanice and Kayla are selling pies for a school fundraiser. Customers can buy blueberry pies and blackberry pies. Shanice stole 5 blueberry pies and 5 blackberry pies for a total of 125. So I'm guessing that's what's going to happen. I'm hoping I'm not jumping the gun by saying you might be ready for your an immediate equation. You can see like Shanice is going to be an equation. So I'm guessing blueberry and blackberry pies are going to be the variables. They both start with a BL. So what should our variables be for blueberry and blackberry pie? I'm going to do U for the blueberries and A for blackberries because that's the third letter that's different. So do whatever variable that you'd like. But I'm going to say for Shanice, S for Shanice, Shanice did the following. She did 5 blueberry pies, so 5 blueberry pies, and she's adding this because she's adding up the money, and 5 blackberry pies, so plus 5 blackberry pies, and that's going to add up to 125. What about Kayla? It's K for Kayla. Kayla sold 14 blueberry pies, 14 blueberry pies, and 13 blackberry pies, just kidding, blackberry pies, and that's going to come up to a total of $335. What is the cost of each of these? And that is cruel because both this number and this number is co-prime, so we don't have a choice. Either way is going to be disgusting and gigantic and gross. So I'm just going to multiply the top equation by negative 13 and multiply the bottom equation on both sides by positive 5. And that will, because 13 and 5 match the 13 and 5, that will eliminate our a's in theory. So 13 times 5, that's going to be 65, I think. 65, negative 65u. Let me just double check. 3 times 5 is 15. There's the 5, carry the 1, and 65. Yeah, it looks good. 13 times 5, again, is 65. So negative 65 blackberry pies. And 13 times 125. 125 times 13. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. Add the 1, 7. 3 times 1 is 3. 0 for the placeholder, and then 5, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1, since we have the 1. Adding them down, we get 1, 6, 2, 5. So negative 1,625. Okay, and that's the first one. And then comes the second one. 5 times 14 blueberry pies. 5 times 14 is going to be 70, I believe. And this should be a positive 65a, because otherwise we've not eliminated our a's. I'm just assuming our a's have been eliminated. That's equal to 335 times 5. Here we go. 5 times 5 is 25. 3 times 5, 15, 16, 17. And then 15, 16. So 1675. 1675. Those came out really close together, so that means our math is going to be easy after we do our subtraction. Ready, set, add these together. You are gone. Let's use a different color for adding them together. Green, add these together. A's are gone for our blackberry pies, leaving us with 5 of these blueberry pies. 5 blueberry pies is equal to and that's going to be 50. Oh my god, that came out so nice. Then we can just divide by 5, divide by 5. Berry pies is equal to 10. If berry pies is 10, then I have 5 berry pies, which is 10, plus 5 berry pies, A, is equal to 125, and that's going to be 50, so I can subtract 50 on both sides, minus 50, minus 50. 5 berry pies costs $75, so I can just divide by 5, divide by 5, and berry pies is equal to, what's 75 divided by 5? My brain is not working right now. Does that come out nice? It should come out nice. Ends in a 5. 15. There it goes. So berry pies cost 15 and berry pies cost 10. Let's check. Berry pies for 10, berry pies for 15. Berry pies for 15, berry pies for 10. There it is. Last problem, which in theory should be the hardest problem of all. Daryl and May are selling cheesecakes. Oh my god, they are my favorite people already. All right, first school fundraiser. You guys would make a bit of money off of me, just gonna say. Customers can buy pecan cheesecakes or strawberry cheesecakes. Obviously, the strawberry cheesecake is superior. Daryl sold blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's just jump down to this part. I need a cost for pecan, cost for strawberry. So our variables should probably be P for pecan and S for strawberry. Let's figure out what's happening in Daryl's scenario. In Daryl's scenario, here's the following. So let me write down D. Daryl, you have 11 of the pecans and you have add 7 of the strawberries and you add it up and you get $215. May, what did you do? May, you sold 8 pecans because you're not as cool. Oh, but you sold 10 strawberries. So May's friends are obviously cooler. Sold way more strawberries than Daryl and add up to $230. Okay, we got to eliminate either the S's or the P's. And again, like number 7, both of these are going to need to be multiplied, and they're both disgusting. I prefer multiplying by 7 and 10 as opposed to 8 and 11 because they're smaller. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to eliminate my S's. So I'm going to multiply the top by negative 10, which is going to distribute into all of these 3, and the bottom by positive 7 into all of these 3. Really multiplying both sides by 7, multiplying both sides by negative 10, but whatever. Okay, so Daryl's equation now becomes negative 110p minus 70s is equal to negative 2,150. And May's equation becomes 8 times 7 is 56p. And then this should be a positive 70s so that they eliminate. That's going to be equal to 7 times 0 is 0, 7 times 3 is 21, carry the 2, 7 times 2 is 14, 15, 16, so 1610. All right, adding these together, boom, 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 you're gone. And 110 minus 56 is 54, I think. 54, negative 54, P, there we go. And adding and subtracting these over here, you always do big minus small, so 21 minus 16 is 5, 50 minus 10 is 40, so 540. Oh, that came out nice because I can just, yeah, if I have negative 54p is equal to 540, I can just divide both sides by negative 54, negative 54, negative, okay. I was like, we're going to get a negative answer. We got a negative back there. Wait, not equal to, but I'm doing the same thing both sides, divide by negative 50. Here we go, negative 54. P is by itself and it's equal to negative and negative cancel out. So that's going to be 10. So if P is 10, do you want to divide by 7 at the end or divide by 10 at the end? I want to divide by 10 at the end to solve for S. So let's choose this equation. Let's come back over here and say that 8P, which is 8 times 10, plus 10S is equal to 230. And 8 times 10 is 80, so I'm going to subtract 80 on that side, subtract 80 on the right side. What am I going to get? I'm going to get 10S is equal to 150, and then I can divide by 10 for my last step, which I predicted, and S is going to be 15. And that makes more sense because strawberry cheesecakes are better, and therefore they should cost more due to the laws of supply and demand. Am I right? Am I right? Yes, I am right. All right, P is 10, S is 15. P P is 10, S is 15. We got them all right. I didn't really check the first ones. I did them mentally. That concludes our homework solutions for 6-5 in Algebra 1. Thanks for watching.